Hello again, everyone. Melth here, with more of my Baldur's Gate 3 challenge run. This time tackling the battle against Marcus and Last Light Inn. One that I've heard many people say is quite challenging for them. I'll talk about my strategies for handling that. As usual, details of the challenge run are in the YouTube video description, and watch out for spoilers throughout this run. Alright, I guess we can skip ahead to the end because there's no fights on the way. We've already explored the path there, so save a few seconds. Now, before the Marcus battle, there are a few NPCs to talk to, because once Marcus shows up with that initial cutscene, Maul will go away, among other things, so might as well have all the distractions now. I guess we haven't yet taken these items that are free for the taking. Let's grab those and then talk to Jaheira.
Please, be welcome.
So she tried to give us a truth serum here. In a world where detect thoughts scrolls exist, it's maybe not the optimal choice, but I guess she is a druid, so it makes sense for her character. You know, she knows about truth-producing herbs, I guess, rather than about the ideal way to cast wizard spells.
You perceive a faint hint of cloth grass, a herb that is said to elicit the truth. Jaheira smiles at you, knowing.
I do think, come to think of it, as a game design decision, it's a little bit odd that rather than having us, as they sometimes do, just kind of roll a secret medicine check to see if we detect anything or not, we have the choice with medicine to stiff it or not. Which really kind of gives the game away and tells us as the player that there is for sure something dodgy going on.
Indulge me. You don't know what you're missing. Well over a century old, and yet it hasn't lost a hint of flavor. Still not quite so sure about you, though. People tend to...
I'm a half-elf. I'm probably also well over a century old.
...get hands on them. I speak from experience. There's an air about you. Something. Answer me true and do not lie.
Her lips seem to be distinct from her dialogue for some reason. It doesn't usually happen. He's a little uncomfortable with the question, so he might stall for time this way, but she immediately calls him on it. I like Jaheira's character quite a lot. There won't be really room for her in my party because mechanically she's just not optimal for anything, really.
And you're certain you will continue?
Yeah, it seems the audio is distinct from lips at the moment.
Good. I will take your word for it. And hold you to it, too. I have every reason to be cautious. I've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here from Baldur's Gate.
We'll find out a little bit more about incidents that happened along the way in Act 3 and so forth.
Quickly, and with unsettling deliberation, we tracked them to this ancient village.
Now, of course, the cult had to be spreading before anyone had parasites, because they can only really parasitize people who they get into their clutches to begin with, usually by luring them in because they're already cultists.
You are the one who...
It was tempting to say you should have hit him harder, but he did see the guy take an axe to the neck and somehow be perfectly fine.
Depths of Ketherick's stronghold.
I guess it's more to the chest, whatever.
Know about Ketherick then. His invincibility. That we'll never...
Now, from what we saw, he was momentarily incapacitated with being hit with that axe and whatnot. It seems to me, out of character, probably to Baldur in character, that we could most likely we can take out his guard, just kind of overpower him and just chain him up and then question him at leisure.
Myself. Only to watch him pluck it out like a splinter.
Like, it wouldn't be easy, but, you know, he's not truly invincible.
Things looked hopeless. But experience has taught me that no matter how bleak things look, there's always hope. You are that hope.
Does she have anything to sell? No, didn't think so.
Protected by your artifact, you can infiltrate...
Yeah, I've already done that. We can't really report much that we've done there.
Find out what it is that makes him invincible.
We already, of course, have read some of his books indicating that it's something called the Night Song and something about where it is and who's going to fetch it, but we can't really tell her that. There's not, unfortunately, that much opportunity to interact with people based on the evidence you found in other parts of Act 2.
Without a cure to your infection, that lifetime might become rather limited. I promise I will do everything I can to make sure you survive this. Any cure starts with understanding the disease. Whatever magic Gatheric's using to control...
Yeah, I feel like we're going over ground we already kind of know about at this point.
Until then, we keep drinking wine when we meet. Before you go, there's somebody else you should meet. You're not our only secret weapon. Isobel.
If you don't trust me, maybe don't let me in the other one, but... Especially given that I already said that I've been to Moonrise and talked to Ketheric, and therefore, by implication, I already have a way to get through the Shadow Curse. She's really asked more questions about that, but we can't tell her about, the Pixie at all. And if we tell her about the lantern that they're trying to get with this whole questline, if you come here first, she just dismisses it here. It's pretty silly, really.
Very fine. But lanterns have a tricky habit of going out when you need them. Let's not spurn what few gifts the gods choose to give us, hmm?
Okay, well. Let's get over here. Oh, the cat.
Hiss! I say hiss!
Looks very similar, actually, to the one in Moonrise. I never noticed that before.
This is my territory, and you're in it. I'll allow it. Good of you to notice. For my part, I have noticed the cleric is a liar. She promised me a bit of milk. Do you see any milk, do you? Nor do I. Disgraceful. I slinked, of course.
Doesn't look like into the Shadow Curse. I guess no approval from her, but she is inspired. Okay. Now, Barcus will now become a merchant at this point, which is pretty neat.
I'm sure you would.
I'm not sure it's worth buying favor with him, because he mostly will sell consumables. I mean, these arrows are pretty good. So maybe it would pay for itself, but it's kind of on the fence whether it's worth giving him all the money or not. This we definitely want to buy first of all, actually. Yeah, so this ring gives you +1 diplomacy, which will improve your prices from here on out, so it's ideal to wear that whenever you're talking to a merchant. Quite cheap, too.
No.
I might not actually have enough money to buy all this stuff, I'm not sure. Maybe I should go out and sell some stuff to some other random merchant briefly. Alright, sold some stuff to the quartermaster, now I'm back.
Sure you would.
It is kind of weird that after all we've done for him, he still only has an average liking toward us. Just very, very few NPCs in this game, unfortunately, react at all to the quests and things like that that you do in terms of their merchant attitude toward you. There are a few random things that happen, like, you talk to Lantarb and he suddenly loves you and tell a story about how, great you are or whatever, but this guy, you rescue him, like, twice and his friend and all kinds of crazy stuff and he doesn't care. And that's true for most merchants in this game, unfortunately. These gloves are... If I was doing, rest more often, I guess they'd have some value, but Advantage is pretty easy to come by. It's once per short rest, that's not that good. As a minor note, it would let you use that god-awful glaive you can get from Bernard without, stunning yourself once per short rest, but not worth it. These are okay. I assume that mean saving throws and checks. Probably test it and find out what they actually mean there. Before we do things here, I might swap around some hats and items. Although it's not really optimal or important for roleplay purposes, I want to have Karlach cast a spell on Raphael here.
Anymore.
Don't burn yourself.
I have a lot on my mind.
So Raphael is playing Lanceboard, which is chess, basically, with Maul here.
You trap me.
And she's, of course, losing.
Take this one.
Kalimshan rules.
Kalimshan, by the way, is one of the kind of generic pastiche countries here in the Forgotten Realms. It's basically a fantasy equivalent of Arabia plus a bit of Ottoman Empire. I don't really love it when fantasy books just kind of copy and paste a real-world historical country or culture into a fantasy universe. it just often seems both kind of lazy, and it also makes you question why in the world in this very different setting where life is so different would cultures develop to have exact, obvious parallels to things that happen on Earth. In any case, that's not this game's fault, it's kind of the Forgotten Realms being lazy.
She knows the game well, and she wants to win.
Not well enough to actually have an idea what to do here. This is like the silliest thing, but it works perfectly well, of course. It's like thinking that you can win a real-life war by sending in real-life bishops on the notion that they can have greater mobility by moving diagonally or something. He's hoping that she'll take the hint here about not getting cocky, but... Literally nothing you do here matters. Make her win, make her lose in any possible way, tell her whatever you want. She does not care. It's pretty much just kind of railroaded. She will make a deal with him no matter what happens. But in the meantime, we want to humiliate this guy and make him look like a dummy. So, cast that spell on him, and he teleports out, having failed his saving throw, and been made to laugh like an idiot.
A headache.
So, that was Baldus's idea, basically, of trying to make it so that she won't make an obvious deal with Raphael, because not only did he lose the chess game, he looked like a moron afterward when we just cast a spell on him, and he started laughing and teleported away.
Together. I bet you and me can make a
But it doesn't matter what you say or do, she will make a deal with him. I just cast that for roleplay purposes.
me a partnership already, and it seems like
So you've seen us like save the day a gajillion times and whatnot, but there is literally nothing you can say to convince her.
No.
poison. Sure, you must love the taste of it.
Did you not see me just walk up and cast a spell on him?
Looked like he was doing a
And this, it just makes no sense. There are many paths that lead to this dialogue where like it doesn't make any sense at all. Even if you didn't do that kind of out of dialogue interaction with him.
Not knocking that.
I really feel like this is a railroading pretty bad part of Act 2, to be honest. Now, I mean, it's one thing to have her just, do her own thing or whatever, but the illusion of choice is kind of a waste of our time and feels pretty silly when the dialogue just ends up being the same regardless of logic.
Maybe I won't, but it'll be my choice, not the devil's, and not yours.
I mean, she just makes his choice, so. Anyway.
One of the worst things about getting old. Watching kids make the same exact...
This dialogue would make more sense if she had made a deal with the devil. She didn't really. She was, like, tricked and somehow handed over without her permission to a devil. I don't get how that even happened to her, but not really the way devils normally work.
Maybe she'll figure it out. If that happens, maybe old Auntie Firehands can pull her out.
Okay, let's get our gears swapped back around here. So, up the stairs we go to where our cleric is waiting. The cat didn't give us a quest to deliver any milk, so I must presume she really doesn't have any.
Curse to put my hands on everything.
Oh wait, I just remember there's a bug I was running into that was causing crashes. Let me run everyone back out here. So my best guess is that it has something to do with my summons. I'm really not honestly certain about that, but I'm hoping that if I leave most of them out here, I won't run into it. So let's ungroup all of them and go on in. There's also one line of dialogue we'll probably be skipping over because it sometimes seems to crash during that line, so, we'll see. I don't love how unstable the game has been for these last few episodes, to be honest. But, this is a fun moment. Isabel's one of my favorite characters in the game, I would say. She maintains this barrier somehow or other. We do see later on, if you side with Shar, with Shadowheart and whatnot, that apparently Shar could have just punctured and killed everyone the whole time. Which is a little odd, but... I also don't know what her cough there is about. She came back from the dead, but I don't think there's anything to do with that I'm aware of. I don't think it could be like her presence makes her sick or something like that. So I'm not really sure.
Who's going to save us all? I'm Isobel. Pleased to meet you.
The urge deep within.
So this, of course, is the one that I was told to kill several episodes ago.
Butler commanded you to kill. You choke down the obscene.
There are some ones that we can talk to her and tell her you want to kill her or whatever, and she'll understand that, but you're resisting those urges. But if you choose that particular line, then she'll immediately attack.
I am a cleric of Our Lady of Silver, the moon goddess Selûne. As long as I keep channeling her power, this inn stays uncursed. A defense to your offense. We've been waiting, hoping against hope, for someone like you. Free from the Absolute's influence, yet able to walk among cultists. It's almost too good to be true. But I'd be a poor cleric indeed not to avail of a blessing when I see one. Let me guess. Jaheira sent you to beg a protection spell off her favorite cleric.
She's my favorite cleric too, so I don't have the heart to tell her that we have a pixie that's better than her entire goddess. And that she's wasted her entire life worshipping Selûne instead of pixies.
The blessing falls uneasily over your tainted body. You can't.
Once again, there's like no actual way to acknowledge that we have the pixie thing. We can tell her about the lantern, but we can't tell her about the pixie. It's odd that way.
You yearn for it so deeply.
Perfect. It'll make you immune to the lesser effects of the Shadow Curse.
Again, like the pixie can get you safe through the entire Shadow Curse. So Luna, the goddess, can only get you through the easy parts that the torch would do anyway. Not a very impressive goddess, really.
Cultists are able to traverse even the deepest shadows, though. I don't know how.
I guess word about that didn't get around even though we talked with Jaheira about the lantern.
You have? Well, forgive me for gilding the lily.
I do like that expression.
Jaheira hasn't gone terribly.
It's a real world one, of course.
Work to be done there yet. I wish you luck. The very best.
Jaheira will go tearing off into the night at a later moment in the plot, which is really premature.
Ketheric is a frightening man.
She leaves out Ketheric is her
He
dad.
doesn't. Allies worth having. While you're busy in the towers...
I do like that line too if you think about it, because of course, as the Dark Arts, we used to be his ally.
Something's wrong.
Alright, but hopefully things are not about to crash during this dialogue. What a silly pose to land in.
Hello, Isobel.
I like his entrance there. Besides, the surprise of it, I think they kind of did a good job of making him just look kind of slick and crazy and a bit gross as he approaches.
You can hear all about it from Ketheric himself.
He's a flaming fist. Or was.
That's obvious from his vestments where he's got that flaming fist emblem.
And I thank you for your hospitality. True soul, my instructions are clear. Take the...
So this is interesting. Now, we know that Balthazar's accounted for. We know that he was writing someone called M to give them wings. We found that in his journal and whatnot. So that all ties together, basically, in Baldus's mind at this point. We'll see what we can learn from reading his thoughts. The wings came from an unwilling donor. He remembers that. He's hoping to get that information here, but we don't really get it. This just kind of confirms what he literally just told us, so...
Nothing is more important than bringing the girl.
If Isobel dies, Marcus escapes. Marcus will be killed by Ketheric off-screen to find his body later on. Alright, I'm skipping this because this is where it was crashing.
The Absolute.
And sorry to disapprove of this because he's a complete idiot. A goblin in an elf suit who doesn't grasp basics of, whose side we're on and what we benefit from here. If we side with Marcus, how would that be good for us?
Time to go, Isobel.
Anyways, now a bunch of winged ghouls fly in. We've already encountered them once before, but this is still a cool moment, I would say. And one of them randomly kidnaps Maul. Which I guess gives her some kind of excuse for making a deal with the devil, but, eh. We already did rescue, like, literally everyone else from Moonrise.
Maiden, guide my hand.
With Isobel.
Also, the Shadow Curse there just killed a couple in the middle of this inn. That was weird. I don't think there's any shadows rising during this fight, so and ghouls don't have that power, so yeah, very strange. Oh well. In any case, people often say that Marcus is a hard fight. Here's why he's not. The thing with Marcus is that he has good initiative. He's got this Ferulency giving him +6 initiative. But you know what? That's very, very, very beatable at this point. This is the enemy's a surprise. Really just means our allies a surprise. Some of them. Anyway. Very, very beatable. You know, I'm not even super optimizing for initiative at this moment, but all my guys still have better initiative than he does. So it's really easy for us to just out-initiative him and then we go first and he can't really do much to us. One thing that I've noticed that was strange to me was, the Baldur's Gate wiki at the moment says his HP should be like 195 or whatever. I've never seen it be that in like any videos or any experiences I've had for like the last year. So I'm not sure where the number came from. Anyway. He is a moderately tough customer. If he gets a chance to belabor Isobel with his club, he can do some pretty good damage to her. But, you know, not that big a deal. So, I think we could just command him, and that would probably just ruin him. He has garbage saving throws. Yeah, even without even trying, it's 90% there. That's pretty good. But it might be more efficient to go and get like a kill off of maybe a winged horror first to get another action and then try that. There's one over there that's convenient.
Your command.
Oh, we need to open the door. Very well. I guess she needs a reaction if she's going to attack. She can't do it anyway. Okay, we'll just do that. Bit of a delayed reaction there, but I guess it worked. So now, if Ballista hits the guy, which is 95% to do, that's a guaranteed kill. No, 90% to do. Oh, it did crash. Alright, so I'm back to more or less where I was before. I guess we just need to get this finished off really fast so we don't have further problems. I guess let's activate that, take out this ghoul, and then that'll hopefully give us a chance to take down Marcus before any crashes happen.
Where do I go from here?
Do I have a scroll of Tasha's Hideous Laughter? I don't want to use too many first level spell slots on that. Let's just do that. He has pathetic saving throws, so it's pretty darned easy to do that to him.
Another fight. Let's go.
Go for the throat. Your command.
Let's spill some blood.
Alright, let's hit him with a Dread Ambusher. He actually made his save, what do you know? That's fine though.
Dying for me. All of them. Take exit.
As long as it doesn't crash, I'm not going to have any problems here. Got my extra attack, so you get a pounding. As I mentioned, he's not that big a deal. Alright, let's have Astarion tear up some of these ghouls and whatnot. Maybe Minthara, you soften up that one. So Astarion can get his extra attack more easily. Come on, it's right there.
I'm ready. Spill some blood.
Okay, so there's one out there we can go for. It's also a few more downstairs. I'm not really worried about any of... Oh, it crashed. Again. Alright, so here I am at the beginning of the fight again. I'll probably just start saving like every couple of moves so I can get this to stop happening and just get out of here. Alright, let's save.
Time to push my luck.
Now, really my point I'm trying to make here is that people make out Marcus to be a really tough fight, but he's only tough if you aren't good at winning initiative, and every good party should always be good at winning initiative. I've really emphasized that throughout this playthrough for a reason. Winning initiative is the most important role of combat. We're gonna just pummel him in melee. Whatever.
Ready for battle.
Just trying to get this done fast.
Shall we dance?
Alright, so that was super inefficient, but it was quick.
Step quick. No escape.
My turn.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
Yes.
You're not blocked. Don't pretend you are.
An advantage.
Okay. Pathing's being terrible here. Again, I'm not playing well here. I'm just trying to get this fight done and save as fast as possible.
Watch this.
Why do they get Karlach's voice for that? It's a skeleton.
All right, Karlach. It's go time.
Fresh orders.
I won't feel comfortable until the save finishes. There we go. Okay. Can you shoot any of those winged horrors? Okay, let's just take a shot at the one you can get to. Whatever. Very effective. Usually the horrors go right for Isobel, so it's rare for these people to get clobbered by these winged horrors that could otherwise tear them apart. So that part is nice. With good tactics, I'm sure I could save them all guaranteed, but I don't have time for that, apparently.
You'll make excellent fertilizer.
I'm sure they won't, like, blight the crops and whatnot. Very effective, Jahira. Very effective. That was quite a jump for a tiny gnome. You know, she is named Nimble. It all adds up. I could easily cutting words that... Maybe I will.
Majesty of Manure! Sovereign!
Okay, so someone got hit down there. Yeah, I'm going to just pass turns to get this over with faster. Get back to my main character so I can hopefully finish them off quicker. Alright, blinding might actually be worth something. Let's go for that. This would be quite a battle if we could have a way to do this effectively against the Harpers, but if you side with Marcus, then the fight ends as soon as Isobel is incapacitated, basically, so it's not very interesting. Lunar Bulwark, what does that do? I don't know. Isobel, that was a bad move. Isobel's idiocy is probably the biggest challenge here, but again, if you can take out Marcus by just going first, or do whatever you want to protect Isobel, you can cast Sanctuary, you can do whatever. It's easy to protect her as long as you win initiative. That's all it comes down to, basically. And many fights in the game are like that. If you win initiative by having a good party, you will win. Thought that was a crash there for a second, but luckily not. Okay. Alright, very nice. Yeah, it might be worth having you do a bonus action dash.
Step quick.
Okay.
There's blood in the air.
So now we want to just take a shot at... I bet we can hit that one down there. Yeah, there we go. Nice, okay. Now the other one is gonna be hard to get to, huh? Even if we like double dash. I think we'll probably just end our turn and wait for it to either die or come to us.
Ready for battle.
That's gonna be the faster way for us to win this, I think, and therefore the least crashy way. And the saves are taking a long time here too. I bet it's the multi-level aspect of this thing that's making it be so crashy. Is that ghoul gonna just dash itself to death? Excellent tactics. You know you can fly, right? Oh, there we... No? Okay. Well, there we go.
Parasite in that corpse. You should take a look.
Neat. You know, let's just take everything without looking at it. Encumbered? Okay. Drag and drop.
Isobel, are you alright?
I'm fine.
Let's hope we stay that way and it doesn't crash.
Marcus has been with us since...
I'm gonna skim through this, in fact.
And that was no random...
So that's good to know that they know about us, but also the Strike Force is dead, we know that Balthazar is unaccounted for, Catheric's unaccounted for, so this seems like a fairly safe time to do what we want. They should know about us, but they don't.
We're in more danger than I knew. If something happens to me, why does a man like him do...
Okay, and she again dodges the question. We don't get a chance of insight to find out that he's her father.
I can understand why he'd want me dead. Take me alive. Now that we have you, I hope I won't... No mercy. Forget...
Okay, one conversation done safely. Let's get out of here, and hopefully if we get down to the lower level, things will stop crashing. My best guess is something to do with the levels of the inn is what's causing the problem, because it doesn't seem to happen in places that don't have multiple floors. Well, there it goes again. So in my haste, I forgot I could have just teleported and saved time that way. Let's get out of here. That's faster than walking down the stairs would be, and hopefully that'll get us out of the crash zone. And if not, I don't know what to do. The game is not playable like this. Let's put our parasite from Marcus to good use here. Well, let's went through the Githyanki Zathis. We can do these powers as bonus actions that take actions for other people instead, so they're much better for him. There are some fun areas to explore beneath Last Light Inn next time, but for now I think I've had about enough with crashes and I want to just investigate this and see if I can find a solution to it before the next episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. And a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Master Knight DH, Jackie, and Lino, Travis, Carlo Andrea 97, Cthulhu's Mom, Oliver, Andrew Curzon, Troobsy, Skill Rap, Gregory, William Wakefield, Danny Hall, Jeffrey Morse, Jost, Becca, Jack, Mashas01, Jacob Marshall, Nubiana, Till Fisher, Discord Colossus, Nicholas Schmuck, Kostya Nesterovich, Goman Blackrock, Dodo King 4, Marcin Bialik, Techno Waffle, Nebular, I Loop, Michael Francis, Emperor Kong 420, Robin Mackey, Micken Balls, Stygian Flamey, Micah Marie, Christopher Allen, Stefan Van Zyl, Eddie, Wendy, Ali Kasamoku, Lucas Riverola, Skylar Sauce, Nick Myers, Bethany James, Emp Ninjas, Prebin, Mango Jelly, and Chupaton. Have a great day, everyone.